everybody, welcome to the car, Grumps. And I got to turn off the little page there so you can see me. Hey everybody, what's going on today? Say hello to the team that we have. What's up, Phillip?
Hi.
Hey, and we have, as you guys see, we have a guest here today. This is, you know what, I think we got to do the introductions first. What do you think?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, so, as you guys know, this is the Car Grumps. We're an irreverent car show that, it's a car. I said car show like 3 times, didn't I? But anyway,
yeah,
we are all about the irreverence here when it comes to the car community and everything car oriented, and we are completely insane and we talk about it. So today, as you can see, here is our main man of the hour, which is Phillip, mayor of the Philtown. Say
that's
hello.
Me. Hello. You
Right.
can find me at Catch Me Running Naked.
Right. And then we have our guest here, which you're going to say hello, which is Carlito Mello.
What's up, guys?
That is his white Eclipse. And you guys, we're going to talk all about that today, aren't we?
Race car driver.
I've heard that he's done it a couple of times.
A few times.
And as always, I am your host, Primo. So for everybody out there, thank you. We're already seeing the comments come in, and I want to thank you guys for all coming in. Now, normally, I have a joke here, but today I'm going to do something a little bit different. So I didn't want to start the show off this way, but I'm going to have to. I don't know if you guys heard this, but Phil's Car Meet was canceled over the weekend, and the question was why did it get canceled? So somebody asked, did Phil just roll over and stop it? And no, there was a street takeover that happened in our area, and yes, people got hurt. And Phil got some pushback on that now, but he cares about his people. So instead of continuing to do what he did, he wanted to make sure that the attendees and everybody there were safe, and therefore we're back to the drawing board on the event, and the event will be back. Did you have any input on that, Phil?
So I've gotten quite. Can you turn the headphones down just a little bit?
Yeah, I can turn yours down.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I got a little bit of pushback. It wasn't a lot. There was a couple of people who had stupid comments to make, and they had their 2 cents to put in. They can all kiss my ass with that. But the biggest thing is if a group wants to act in a mob mentality and actually they destroyed a Taunton police cruiser when the cruiser pulled in to disperse and see what's going on. They blocked him in, and they proceeded to try to smash out the windows, jump on the truck, jump on the hood, jump on the roof, kick, try to open the doors, trying to get the police officer out. So if they do that to a cop, like a form of authority, what makes me think that one of my members or one of my attendees, because it's crazy, because a lot of the people there who attend, they actually help us hold down the lot, and they'll go up to him if you're acting stupid. They'll be like, hey, you got to go. I know 85% of the people that are there, and it's a lot of people. I have the respect of a lot of people. If I can't keep... And then plus, we have kids. It's a family-friendly thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have friends of mine who are my age or older, and they bring their kids. They bring their grandkids because it's a family-oriented thing. I try to make it as friendly to the family and everybody to come out and just hang out. If one of those idiots was to hit a kid, or if one of those idiots wanted to act up, and then somebody goes over there and says something to him and says, hey, guys, knock it off, what makes me think that they're not going to rush them? If I can't keep my family, which is my group, and I can't keep my attendees, which I consider them family too, safe, then I'm not going to do it. And if people want to say, oh yeah, make their stupid comments, make them all they want. And it's funny too, because I was looking into it a little bit, seeing who was actually like putting it on and stuff like that. And they want to go out of their way and make a phone call from a blocked number. I just told them, I said, you know where to find me. I'm not hard to find. I'm right here. So if you're watching, I'm right here.
Good. All right, so everybody asked me to say something about it, and I'm just going to say it like this. Consider this the one and only public service announcement we're going to make from here on in. This is what I'm going to consider it done on it. So if you're man enough to watch this and pull up a chair and take a look at it. First, I'm going to show you a video, and if you have kids, this is not for them. And I know some would want me to cover it up, but no, some people... It's our community that's being affected, and I think it's time that we face some of this stuff and take a look at it. We in the car community get blamed for all these actions, so let's all take a look at it and see what we're being blamed for. And again, if you are squeamish or you are a kid, I don't want to watch this. And if you're on audio, then just consider yourself lucky. So here's the piece here. So it was a person that was doing donuts, and they hit someone, and instead of helping this person, they decided to drive off and leave them injured on the street to just fend for themselves, I guess. So if I don't understand, if that's your community, why you would leave somebody dying on the street. I don't get it. And if I'm reading that wrong, let me know. I'd like to know about it. There's some comments down there if anybody knows it. But anybody that sees that, you can see they're going to give you some negative input. So from what I heard, the leader of that community did nothing. They drove away. They did not face any of the repercussions for their actions. And then they went and did the same activity somewhere else. So let me make this clear. That doesn't represent the car community. These people are not in the car community. They do not represent us. That's not how we've ever been. Anytime I've ever seen somebody get hurt or had an accident, even if it was involved with that, we did everything we could to help them. So I get it. You want to go out, for you guys out there that doing your takeovers, I get it. You want to go out. You want to have fun. And honestly, we love to help you have fun. We used to do burnouts. I wanted to pull some videos up of us doing burnouts in the past, but you got to understand there's a time and a place.
Yes, thank you.
And I've never left, like I said, never leave anybody, one of your people, injured on the curb.
Hell no.
To fend for themselves. And you know what? If that's fine. If you don't want help, let me discuss the consequences of your actions here. See, guys like me, we fight laws all the time to help our car community. And if you saw half the laws that they try to pass, you would lose your mind. We had a chance to remove front plates, inspection stickers, and I'm just curious where everybody that was doing this stuff, where were you guys when we were actually fighting the system and trying to make changes? Did you know in the last few years how difficult it's been to even get a permit for a car show? I've had permits canceled. Yep. It didn't matter that we collected $10,000 for inner city kids to get an education. All that money is now gone. We can't do another show because they won't give us a permit to do it. And I'm being told that police chiefs are now threatening to tow away cars, even on private property. So that's where the stuff gets escalated to when we do it. And if you think you can fight the government, good luck with that. The reality is very eye-opening because lawyers cost money, and it's the reason why 76 to 80% of any sort of law out there, if you fight it in court, ends up being dismissed. Yep. Or you settle, because that's the thing is you can't. How much money do you have to fight these stuff? And that's why they settle.
You don't.
So they already want to take away cars completely. So if Boston, they want to make the entire town, city, make it a car-free zone. That's right. And that's not a conspiracy.
No, it's the truth.
It's what happens when we end up like California, where they just crush cars and put people in jail, and they don't care. They impound cars for 3 to 6 months, and if you pay the bill at the end of it, you can't afford it, they just take your car. They do that for a reason. They bury you under the jail. So if they find out that they can pass whatever they want here, we're in trouble. And what do we end up like Australia or Germany, where they can't even mod anything? They can't mod their cars.
No, it's like jumping through hoops.
Yep. So go look at the RPM Act, where diesel companies have been sued millions for doing aftermarket work. And then they snuck it into the last bill where they said car alarms go off and you can't go faster than 10 miles per hour over the speed limit. That's required now in all new cars. Ridiculous. And they will detect if you are drunk driving. So anytime you swerve or swivel or do anything, your car's going to shut down.
You're hammered.
Yeah. So where do you think that came from? Where do you think they got this crazy idea to put that in place? And what's worse, I'm not saying don't do burnouts. I'm not saying don't do donuts. I'm simply saying let's find a time and a place to do them. Let's do it right like we've always done before. Make sure nobody gets hurt. We find the place to do it, and we can have all the fun that we used to have all the time. And why is that bad? Well, we'll happily watch your videos, and you can show us all you want and all your skills, and we'll even watch it, support it, be on your team. We will be you can earn our respect and our admiration just by doing it the right way. It's not that hard.
No, it's not hard at all, to tell you the honest truth.
But I'll tell you the alternative is losing everything that the real car community has built over the years. When we can no longer do Bass Pro meets, it's not just about cars anymore. Then we lose the ability to help the homeless. That is what the Bass Pro event does. They collect food for homeless shelters. Mm-hmm. And we've lost millions to charities, helping kids with cancer, brain injury, and finally, I'm going to say the big one for me is getting support to veterans around the U.S. look at the suicide rate, okay? Yeah, we need to keep fighting for these people and making a difference in our car communities from every get-go and every opportunity that we have. And if we lose that opportunity, what are we going to do? Yeah. So this is the last time I'm ever going to discuss takeovers on this show. I am done with it. If anybody wants to do it anymore, if you want to bring it up to us, whatever, but it's not coming on the show. I am not going to give any more attention to this stuff. Simply put, guys, and I'll say this from the heart, if you want to ruin this community and kill each other and ruin the future that we have built over time, I will happily pack up the car grumps, the show, the whole 9 yards. Everybody around here will put this together knowing everyone in this room did 110% for their community, and I won't look back. No. I won't. No. I've done a ton of fighting just to have it sabotaged. And by the time there are no more cars and everything is banned, I will be long gone. And I'm not happy about that, but it's just the way it is. I prefer that you have a future. I'd rather you sort your shit out, do it right, and allow us to fight with you. But if you want a car community badge, you're going to have to earn it.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's my last word on it. Sound good to you guys?
It is. Yeah, and again, this isn't just a community. This isn't just a group.
Yep.
It's a culture. Yep. It's a way of life.
Yeah.
I tried to let the cars go a long time ago, and I can't. It's in my blood. Yep. You know what I mean? So think about that. Yep. Think about that.
I'm just done of coming to every show and just having we've supported everybody in the car community. Some of the some of the people that have done the biggest burnouts, the biggest street races. Yeah. I seriously, if you knew the stuff that I had done, you guys are nothing compared to what I've done on the street and gotten away with it. Police pursuits, all that stuff. I've done it all. Yep, not proud of it, but I knew what the reality was, and I said, you know what? I think it's better that I work for the community and have a community and build a community, and we smartened up and we all got together, and we're here for you. That's just the reality for it. So, Phil, Gary says, nice shirt.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Slowhawk, baby.
What's the shirt? What's the shirt?
Slowhawk. That's Gary and
nice.
His dad over in Bridgewater.
Yeah, I love it.
Hi, Gary.
All right. So from here on in, can we have good, positive shows from now on?
No.
Can we? Why not?
No.
What did you do now?
Because I just want to be a grumpy bitch.
Okay.
I just want to work that.
Phil wants the sponsorship. Slowhawk sponsorship. We would support that.
I don't have anything that has a gym in it.
What? Oh my God! We need it.
No.
LS Swap 240s. Just gonna say it.
No, get the hell out of here. No,
okay.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna put one in my Genesis, and we'll call it a day. How's
there
that?
you go. There you go. There you go. Oh, there's Glenn.
And the EPA can take my the tailpipe on that one. Oh, there's Glenn.
Here we look at. Get me on there, and I'll get Phil all fired up and talking good.
He's already got.
He's already.
Everybody's got me fired up. Here we go. Juke Swap the 240.
Perfect.
You see? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's talk about our guest today, who's the real guy here. check this bad boy out. This is the Eclipse of the day. That thing had how many races have you won with this bad boy?
I mean, at Seekonk, probably like 3 or 4. I haven't been on the podium yet, but I've definitely beat a couple people to get me close to it.
Yeah. So what do you like? So you got a lot, second and thirds and stuff like that?
No podium, no
podiums.
Third,
okay,
but I've beaten like 2-3 people to get to like the top 8. You know, normally there's about like 30 or 40 cars.
We got an awesome little thing here for you actually competing on the track, and it's funny because I've watched you a couple of times on here, and it's funny because like I can see where you're like. You got the car for this, and you're trying to dial it in. Is there any kind of stuff that you run into that you go, if only I could do this, I think I could make it first place?
Yep. Well, one famous thing going on at Seekonk is recent treadwear limitations for all-wheel drive cars.
Really?
All the I think it's 330 is the minimum.
Really?
For all-wheel drive. And front and rear wheel drive, they can run tires like R888s. That's a common good tire out there. But for my car, the best tire is probably the Pilot Sport 4, which is obviously a great tire. I mean, they put them on brand new GT500s, so it's going to be good enough for all-wheel drive if they can put it on a rear-wheel drive 500 horse. But
if it's good enough for GT500, it's good enough for me.
Yeah, for sure. But just tire width, things that I can like tune in definitely.
So that car's all-wheel drive?
Yep. Yeah, it's an all-wheel drive 1990 Eagle Talon.
Ooh.
Yep. Same as the Eclipse. So all the same.
A friend of mine's father.
It is the legit car.
Oh yeah, legitimate.
Super legit.
So a friend of mine's father, my buddy Tom, Tom, his father, and his stepbrother used to race go-karts like those, but they went everywhere. Like they have the little, like the karting events and stuff like that. And he came to one of my races, and whenever I started on the inside, I would always hug that inside shoulder.
Yep.
Always. He told me, he goes, "Hey Phil, I got an idea for you." I said, "What's up?" He goes, "Listen." He goes, "Come in on the inside, in the middle of the corner, come up to the wall, and then come back down."
Yep.
I looked at him. I said, what are you, on drugs? I was like, what are you, nuts?
Right.
I said, you're crazy? He goes, you're not going to step on your brakes. You're going to be able to keep your foot to the floor. He goes, you're not going to lose any momentum. You're not going to lose any speed. And I'm like, okay. He goes, it's called an Apex. I said, all right. So I finally tried it.
Kind of like the racing game.
I legit won like 5 races when I tried. I was like,
nice.
Okay. I was like, all right. So, that's like the only thing I know about racing.
Yeah, it's like a slingshot. You definitely want to, they always say hug the inside, but once you get on that back stretch, you want to like dive outwards because if you stay on the inside on the back stretch, it's going to be like a 90-degree turn. You want to dive towards the wall and then make it like nice and smooth.
Yep. Now, do they still have that little dip going into turn 3?
I think they patched
Did
that.
they? Because that was...
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Oh, yeah, it was brutal. I remember going in... Now, when you're going into turn 3, how fast are you going?
Probably, I'm at the top of second gear banging off a limiter right now, and that's probably like 65, 70, but it's not uncommon for other guys with longer gearing to hit 80, 85, 90 miles per hour.
Do you end up running into a lot of gearing issues because that Eclipse has weird gears?
Super short gears.
Right.
First ends at like 40, 35 miles per hour.
Jesus
Second's
Christ.
like 65, 67. I'm trying to up my RPM. Definitely have the cams for it.
The beauty is you get an awesome launch on that car. That's the man. And I feel like with the spectator drags that the launching play, it's so much different when it comes to tracks like that because you have to. It's like drag racing, but it's not. So there's a part of a long haul, and there's part of that getting off the line. But I feel like getting off that line makes all the difference.
It's everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's everything. I mean, there's a lot of rear-wheel drive cars that I've seen them get off the line fast and almost like either stay right next to me or get ahead of me. Like they really fine tune their way into that launch, because the launch is everything. Basically, if you're in front in corner 1, chances are you're winning unless they outgear you on the back stretch. Or
Phil's going to move
you in the.
Phil's going to move your mic right up too closer to you. Some people were messaging us.
Yeah.
It was funny. The longer we go on, the more we do this. And we're like, yeah, that's great. Everybody's like, I can't hear you. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. But yeah. But that's awesome. So, what is there anything that, from your time on the track, that you said, this was what I learned in the beginning, and this is something that if I was going to start over again, this is what I'd like to get right?
Definitely just, choosing the right car for racing out there is a big thing, because, I started off in a automatic 4-cylinder non-turbo. Back in the day.
Did we show the red car?
Yeah, it's the.
There you go.
That was my first ever race. I had to race against a 3000 GT VR4, which are phenomenal out there.
The red one.
Yes, but there was 2 of them. There was a guy. His name, I forget his name, but it was his first time racing there as well. It was my first time and his first time. He was on snow tires. Obviously, he's never raced there. I've never raced there. He was kind of sleeping on the light, so I got the jump on him. He caught right up next to me. Obviously, it's a 320, 330 horsepower car versus my 150. Yeah, he was cheating with his higher horsepower car. But
too funny.
I got the jump on him, and he just stayed right up next to me. But he was just scared in the corners, and I just ended up winning my first ever race there, and that kind of hooked me. That's about it. You just need the right platform. That's all.
The right platform and a set of balls. Because
for sure.
Because that track, when you're
so
sitting
short,
but it's not even so short. It's when you're sitting in the stands, it doesn't look that bad. But then once you drive it, you're like, oh my god! Those corners, those things are so tall. From the bottom, you're looking up and you're like, holy shit! But it's so fun. I wish they do it on Saturdays now, right?
They do it. The first event is this May 11th.
Oh yeah!
Wow.
Yeah, there's 10 events for the year.
Spectator drags?
Spectator drags.
Really?
Yeah, it's really changed.
Really?
So I've heard it's become more of a. It's almost the highlight.
Really?
Everyone loves obviously the Enduros.
They're so
has
busy.
hundreds of cars.
I left. I wouldn't. Once the spectator.
Did you do
drags,
enduros?
No, I did spectator drags. Once
Yeah.
the spectator drags were done, I'm like, yep, I'm not sitting here
Right.
no more.
Yeah.
Now, are those points for those events? Are they all connected together to the ones in Florida and stuff, or does it just?
It's just Seekonk has its own
scoring.
They have their own scoring. But a lot of guys, there's some guys who go all over the country to different events just because they're in love with the sport.
Oh, I was
awesome.
amazed at how many. Once I started looking into it and following certain folks, you saw them all over the place. There's tons of videos for it.
It's crazy. But it's fun. It's fun. I remember when I did it, they only did it, I think, on the holiday weekends. The Sunday of the holiday weekend.
Yep.
Memorial Day.
The big ones.
4th of July. Was it Labor Day?
Yep.
I think Labor Day.
Labor
and then
Day.
Another one. There was one more.
Halloween, probably around Halloween.
Yeah, it was around Halloween.
They used to do a late November one too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember because on Halloween in November they had the pumpkin smashes and stuff. But I would go to all those because they were on Sundays and I had nothing better to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And because I used to be into all the street racing and shit, so I was just you know what I mean? I kind of played into all that. And I was actually... So do they have any on Sundays?
I think for some they do have on Sundays.
I gotta find out...
Phil,
let's get you
Bill
out
is,
there. Let's get you back out there.
Listen, I
you
have
don't
a
have
card.
to. Yeah,
I got a card for it.
Yeah,
there's one sitting there.
It's called a smart car. Hold on, let me get the picture.
What do you have? What do you?
Hold on, I'll show it to you.
So I
Here
got
you
a
go.
240 out there.
Here we go.
No,
that's it right here. That's the
my
one.
100
Perfect. That'll fly off the line because it's light.
Exactly.
Well, that's got
You would be a
180 horse
crowd
now.
favorite out there,
Dude. I'm into
How much
it. Let's
does it
do
weigh?
it.
What's it weigh?
That weighs.
It's got to be
You count with him in it or not?
2,300 pounds or 2,200 pounds or something like that.
180, 2,300. I mean, you'd probably beat some people for sure out there,
but
especially off the line.
That
And you'll
thing,
outhandle them.
On
It's
the
all
dig,
gearing for that too.
On the dig, that thing's slow as hell because it's got a
Really?
Fuel Tech F550 in it now, and we jumped from 70 horse to 180 horse, and it's a dual clutch transmission, and it's been a shit show.
Yeah.
But I do have a 200 horsepower Nissan Juke.
Before we do this, though, Alicia
All-wheel
wants you
drive.
to do Demolition Derby, and I think that's
Christ.
Oh man.
No demolition derbies.
I don't have a picture of the Juke in here either.
No.
We gotta
because
fix
it's just-
that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get one.
We got this.
Yep.
Yep. There's
Yep.
my
You know-
Sylvia.
I'm noticing the difference in the bumper now. I'm seeing it. No, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know, but
When
it's
he
still a
when he
secret.
got in his accident and did all. I'm kidding, guys. Alicia has a special helmet for you.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
I bet. Yeah. And some paper towels,
Right.
licking windows. So.
Oh my God.
So why Eagle Talon?
I've always liked Mitsubishi. I mean,
'Cause
it
it's the
goes
best.
back- yeah, 4G63 baby.
So fast.
Yeah,
4,500 RPM launch. Yeah, I'll
Yep.
take that.
Oh yeah, it's
Really?
great. Doesn't
Oh,
break
yeah.
any. Really, more like 6250 till I learned the clutch. I run a Quartermaster twin disc.
6,200 RPM.
Yeah.
You launch that thing at 6,200 RPM.
No,
so beautiful.
So obviously, there's multiple ways. Like you could, do a low RPM with two-step to build up the boost. But the thing is, when you get out there, you get to the line. If your competitor is at the line, you have like 2 seconds. Once you get to that line, they really rush it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if you're relying on building boost and you get to that line and you need like 3-4 seconds to build up that two-step, you're gonna fall
You're
flat
done.
on your face.
So
you're gonna
you
bog out.
You launch that freaking car
Yeah.
at 6,200 RPM.
Yep.
And nothing is broken.
I wouldn't say that. Since July, I've gone through 2
Everything.
transmissions
Okay. All right.
and 1 clutch.
Okay,
learning
all right.
to launch.
So,
but
okay,
yeah.
We could do the whole show at the
Because
beginning
I'm
when they
just
asked
like-
what's wrong with cars. We could do the whole beginning of the
Oh,
show with
things
just him.
break.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? 6,200 RPM.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, bum 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 bum.
Holy shit.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
And like,
It's gnarly though. I mean, the launch it's aggressive. I mean,
6,200
thunderous.
RPM.
not to
How
be
much chattering is that at that amount, at that speed?
Oh, it's ridiculous. Driving the thing, it used to have when I first bought it. It
It was
had
so nice, wasn't it?
It was so nice.
So smooth.
I took that car. I bought it in Seekonk, and there was an event
convenient.
happening down the road. Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny? I bought it off a kid with the same last name as me too.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah. Shout out Zach Mello. Not my cousin, but
That's all right.
so the car, it had welded front and rear diffs, twin disc clutch, which I've never even driven a twin disc before. I took that thing right to a car show. Pulling into that parking lot, I probably looked like oh my gosh, I looked like a sight, like hunched over, things chattering, the thing's hopping back and forth. I'm trying to shimmy backing into a parking spot. It was great though. Everyone was freaking out.
Everybody's like, what's wrong with your car? Race car. Just race car.
I had just
Great.
picked it up. My friend followed me in a pickup truck. We had a spare engine and spare transmission in the back of it. So I'm parked up next to him. I'm like, yeah, just
How
bought this
perfect is
car.
that?
Yeah, I know. If it blew up on the way home, I could have just swapped it on the side of the road. I'm
That's
sure.
right.
That's why they come with spare parts. When
hell
people
yeah.
sell them, they're like, here, take all my spare parts. And I'm like, why are you giving me totes full of parts? They're like,
shit's
you'll
coming
find
out.
out.
Yep.
I loved about the
Race car.
4G63. Yep.
Race car.
Yeah.
So that's the factory motor that you bought it with?
So the engine I bought it with, the one that was in the car, it's
Grenaded.
a factory 4G63. Come on, slow down. I haven't gotten to that
I'm just
part
saying,
yet.
6,200 RPM.
Yeah. I think he's trying to guess. So, yeah.
Right. He's foreshadowing.
Exactly.
So, built engine, pistons, rods, cams, springs, retainers, whatever, big turbo, all that. The spare engine was also built and such, but it didn't last too long. I guess you gotta check your oil when your turbo's burning oil.
Yeah. Race car.
Oh yeah. Yep. Fun times. But
That's funny.
yeah, I started out with I don't know. I've just always loved Mitsubishi
Yeah,
though.
no.
I started out with the old 3G, non-turbo, automatic, boring, and then I ended up getting the red Eclipse that you just seen on camera recently. That was That was a good one. That was front wheel drive. So I'm
that one right there?
slowly evolving. Went from front wheel drive, no turbo automatic, to front wheel drive turbo stick, and then finally to the pinnacle, my White Eagle Talon, all wheel drive, turbo, stick shift, all the good stuff.
I'm trying to get this thing to roll.
Two-door
without
Evo. Two-door
being
Evo, they
interrupted.
call it.
Oh, so that's the same motor as the Evo one, right?
Yeah, like the older generation, the
Yeah.
JDM ones, because they just have slight variations. Like an Evo 8, the timing belts on the other side. It's not technically like the same 6-bolt 4G63, but it's basically, yeah. If you bought it,
sorry about that. If I just I had tried to play video without doing the sound on it, and I think the sound played at the same time. But I hope everybody heard that.
That's
Okay.
all right. If you guys can't hear us, it's fine.
I like the idea of when guests send us videos because it makes life so much easier to be able to show you guys stuff. And if you're on audio, and you know what, two things. Everybody, if you have a chance to hit a thumbs up on whatever you're watching, hit that thumbs up.
Wow, you really stole my thunder.
I'm sorry.
Like and subscribe.
No, you can do it the other thing.
Like
But I have to be careful because now it's like you have it on Twitch and these other ones where if you say the other company's name, they stop letting you comment on it. So I have to, I don't get it. I mean, it doesn't make sense. But anyway,
go to TubeU.
So I'm just gonna say, everybody hit thumbs up while you have a chance to loves or whatever. So if
like
you
and
see
subscribe.
it from where you're at, whether you're seeing it now when it's actually live or when you're seeing it later. So
Like and subscribe.
and if you like Mitsubishi Eclipse, thumbs up too. So
Like and subscribe. Just do it. Just do it. So, now I saw like the newer Mitsubishi Eclipse. I saw the older Mitsubishi Eclipse. Bro, where's the 99?
99 Pinnacle 2G, you know, like Paul Walker style is what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, man. You know, those, they just, I don't know. I just haven't found my way into one yet, you know? They're a different breed, that's for sure. They got... you've heard of crank walk, I'm sure. Oh, crank walk issues, this and this. That's only the 7 volts. You got to get the split thrust, blah, 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 all this technical boring stuff. But those cars, they got the Paul Walker tax too. They got the Paul Walker tax.
True.
that is a cool way of saying. I've never heard that before.
It's the truth, though.
I've never heard of it either till now.
But no, it's the truth because I'll go on Marketplace and like I'm an avid just like Marketplace searcher like sometimes. And the other day I was like Mitsubishi Eclipse, and then a couple of those like the.
You're like, oh my God, they're still out there.
Yeah, they are all rotted out for $6,000 that don't run, and I'm just
they
like,
want all the money.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I don't know what's worse, the S chassis platform drip tax, or the Eclipse Paul Walker tax.
That
I
seems
could help
like
you find one.
I was gonna say this is a good segue because there's something else that you excel at, and that is selling cars and doing stuff on Facebook Marketplace, right?
No, Shane, it's not a Skyline. We don't have those here. So anyways, yes, you excel in something else.
Poor Phil.
Yes, I'm good at multiple things. Yes.
So
He's a multitasker.
I heard that you're a wheeler and dealer on the Marketplace.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm a.
How do you even like?
How much therapy do you need?
Oh my God, dude!
How much patience?
I don't have any because like as soon as I post it, I want to put my head through a friggin' wall because I know. Will you take?
If it's available, don't bother asking.
Will you take my bald tires and $5? I'm like,
yeah.
What?
It's horrible.
We should have listed what you have currently up to.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What
that
do you
would've
got
been
for
a good
sale?
one.
What do you got for sale?
So I'm a
It's something for Shane.
right. Yes, I got a Skyline for Shane. If Shane wants a
you have
Skyline.
a Skyline?
Yep.
So I'm a private auto broker, so I do advertising for other people. So it's not just cars that I own.
But do you own the Skyline?
No.
Is it black?
No, it's silver. It's a R34 GTR V spec. It just came in February of this year. It's all legal, all legitimate, low kilometers, all the good stuff. But it's got that Paul Walker
Phil needs
tax,
a trash
that's for sure.
car, so
I don't want to.
How much?
he can't say.
$200,000.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
Break out the purse.
Well, Phil did need a race car until about 2 seconds ago.
Right. So this
We're
is
gonna start a GoFundMe right now.
Right.
Hang on,
He did.
wait.
He goes, I don't need it that bad, but
Listen.
if you guys will donate to the cause,
I got this authentic
wow. Look at that.
what is that?
$2 bill.
Holy cow!
This is
How much is that
authentic.
worth?
$2.
You know what? Multiply that
It's
by
vintage.
100,000.
It's vintage.
So he needs what? 100 of the 100? What is it?
100,000.
100,000 of those. Yeah.
This is vintage though.
Math, not
This
my.
is
I don't
from-
do that. I don't math
I don't know
much.
what year it's from.
Tuesday.
I can tell you.
It's written right on it.
This is from 2000, vintage 2017.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Pre-COVID.
yes, exactly. So
That's,
it's like-
you say
that's-
that?
It's
Can you
not.
say that?
yeah,
Put it
you
on
can
here.
play. Yeah, listen. If this
That is a non-contaminated $2 bill
If-
right there. Don't shake it.
If there's snowflakes,
Rachel
just-
says it's vintage or it's for the strip
Oh,
club.
man.
So does if Phil signs it, does that mark the $2 bill up in any way? Paul just asked.
I don't know. Let's try it.
hey, listen, I might be a famous guy. I don't know yet.
With our luck, the feds will
Listen,
show up and be
I
like,
will-
"Oh, you damaged the $2 bill."
You just, yeah.
Yeah.
You just vandalized government property. You're
Oh,
coming
God.
with us.
Listen, I will trade somebody a $2 bill from 2017 for $200,000.
You know what? Let's make
Seems
it
like a
happen.
fair deal.
Any Vegas. All right. So, anyways, what
Yes.
else? So, like, all right, my heart just got back into rhythm. What
Okay.
Else, what else
So-
you got?
So I'm a private auto broker. None
Yeah.
of the vehicles are mine.
okay.
I market them for people who don't have the patience to deal with the marketplace
Like all of us.
bullshit and or who don't have the reach that I have.
Right.
So
I think that's the big thing, especially with brokerage, is the idea that people get afraid of selling a car and
Yeah.
they say, you know people or you know how to know people, and isn't that the big trick to it all?
yeah, exactly. So it's all about, where you market it. It's not just marketplace. It's like, if I'm selling a Skyline, I'm joining Skyline Classifieds of America,
Yeah.
etc. And you just have to have patience, and you gotta market it well. Take good photos. There's a lot that comes down to it. You gotta answer people right away because if you text somebody texts you at like 9 a.m. hey, I want to come see it, you don't get back to them till 1 o'clock, they're probably down the road buying something else.
Yeah.
So
It's frightening to me that communication seems to be the biggest
gone.
fall off point for not only the sellers, not only the buyers, but the sellers too.
right, yeah, it's all about proper communication, getting back to people when they message you. Because think about it, like if you see an Eclipse on Marketplace right now and it's a good deal, you might impulse buy it. I
Oh,
mean, it might be a
absolutely.
good buy either way, but
I would
Yeah.
actually impulse buy. Yeah.
impulse buying is maybe not an Eclipse, but or they
Oh,
need it out of
don't do it.
necessity.
I mean, I impulse bought my Sylvia.
Yep.
Yeah,
He did.
it was probably a good
I-
purchase too.
It was.
I
I
mean,
love that car.
people might need the car out of necessity. If you're selling a normal daily driver,
Yep.
they need to get to work maybe tomorrow, so
Yep.
they're scrambling to get something. Their car's engine just blew up. Their daughter's car's engine just blew up. Or
So they need a
crashed.
Viper.
Exactly, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
What? We go hard over here,
I
bro.
guess-
We're not taking
I
secondary
guess
here.
so.
Listen,
But you do not sell your friends boring cars.
Right,
Just saying.
right.
True.
I got anything from, I've sold anything from Dodge Vipers to Honda Civics, Chevy Caprices, police package, Harley Davidsons, I got a little bit of everything.
What
available.
about a Ferrari?
Have not sold a Ferrari yet.
Lamborghini.
I've not sold a Lamborghini yet. And I'm
We got close to
Looking
getting him
to-
one, but yeah.
close to selling, looking to break my way into the exotic car market.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are the kinds of clients who will really understand and appreciate my business anyways, because obviously time is money. It's somebody who's trying to sell a high-end car like that, they're going to deal with a lot of flack. And even with this R34, I mean, it's
unique.
I've been dealing with the most comments, likes, messages than I ever have before with this Skyline I'm trying to sell.
Do you two things with that? One, do you have a lot of, and I'm not going to use the word tire kickers, more like dreamers. And then second, do you have people that go, that's just not realistic. Why are you listening for that? And they're not really buyers, or?
Of course. I mean, especially in the comments section of
yeah.
These forums, because on Marketplace, you don't see comments, but when you're posting in groups like Gas of Mass or, exotic cars for sale by owner,
Yeah.
you get the comments section. Some people will say turn it off, but, I'll interact with it. I mean, if somebody's saying something ridiculous, I won't really respond, or if they're insulting. But if people are asking questions, I like to answer it immediately, and like every comment, like, hey, that thing's real nice. Good luck with the sale. I'll leave a little like, all the comments, they just bump the post back to the top. So why turn comments off?
No,
I mean, it's
true.
my job to interact with the people.
Yeah.
So to, stifle the interactions is it's counterintuitive. So
is there any time you have buyers that come on and you say, you know what, you're offering this for way low, or you're offering it to way high, or whatever? Is there a valuation process there for you? Or
so with many of my clients, if they're not too sure about the price of their vehicle, I'll do a market analysis, check out comps for their vehicle. For some vehicles, it's harder than others, like
like a Skyline.
F-150 or Skyline. It's actually fairly easy because it's easy to find that spec in that color with that mileage. But something like a Silverado, like 6.5 foot bed crew cab with the 4.7. There's a lot of different submodels, and then you got to find mine has leather though. That
was my truck problem back in the day.
Finding the exact spec that you want, or like finding one that's comparable in price. But I'll definitely do that. Check it out. Figure out what's best.
What is the most difficult car for you to look up? Like for
definitely trucks. That's why I mentioned
trucks,
that.
yeah.
What about
doing a
Jeeps?
market analysis on Jeeps. I haven't really marketed many, but they're pretty straightforward for the most part. I mean, there's definitely a lot of different trim options, but for trucks, it's the most difficult because there's Lariat, Laramie, all this like different XL, XLT, 6.5 foot bed, 8 foot bed, this engine, that engine.
Is there anything you wouldn't sell?
I mean, just something.
He's like, I'll take the challenge.
If it's stolen, I'm not selling your stolen vehicle.
Oh yeah, listen.
For the most part, I mean,
or Phil's cars.
Right, I won't sell. No, I will.
Wow.
You got something for sale?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. We might have a juke
for the most part. Any vehicle I'll sell. As long as
juke.
Yeah, it's
as long as I market it
yeah.
properly. If it's a piece of junk, I'll be obviously the engine is blown. This and this. Like I'm very thorough and. That's about it. Yeah, I'll sell basically just about any vehicle.
Because my wife pretty much confiscated my Jeep Wrangler. And I might want to sell it now just so she doesn't confiscate it anymore and I can get the satisfaction.
So confiscated Jeep Wrangler.
See, now we're going into...
Oh, man.
Not only do we have a Jeep, so it's hard...
Yeah.
No, I don't. Happy wife, happy life.
We'll talk after the show.
Happy wife, happy life.
Right. When the what is it? We'll have the after party, and then we'll be like, okay, yeah, what are we doing here?
On next episode, we'll be following up on.
Yeah, I won't.
Next time on Car Grumps, Phil needs a place to live. Look at Gary. Was it Gary said, she's gonna murder you?
Oh yeah, I'm surprised she hasn't killed me already.
Okay. Hey, it hasn't happened yet, man. She's probably you've what is it? You've tired her out. You pooped her out.
No, my wife's a good lady. She takes good care of me. I love her to pieces. Mm-hmm. Love her to pieces. Love you, honey. She's not even watching anymore, but it's okay. See it? Look at that. Everybody knows I watch. People know my wife on here.
So if you had a buyer or somebody like that came to you and kind of said, hey, you know what? I'm starting my first thing I want, because you were saying before car choice is important, and if they said, I'm looking for a car that I can do, that I can race with, that's kind of the good all-arounder, and I want to daily drive it at the same time. Now that you've kind of been around the circle, what kind of car do you think would be best?
Honda Civic.
The best. I'm
gonna give my input afterwards too.
That's a good point. I mean, a Honda Civic for sure. Like maybe a newer gen, like like 8th or 9th gen SI or something. Why is that? What are you talking for Honda Civic?
Yeah, right.
Hatch or
EG Hatch or
Hatch
with a GSR swap. None of that K24 bullshit.
Right. I mean,
just
out the box vehicle. Probably that. I mean, you know, you don't even need much power to go
Thanks,
fast
guys.
if you want to race it. You know, it depends where you want to race.
That's it. We're finding me a Civic. That's what we're doing.
Yes.
And I'm gonna race
Civic
him.
is always
on
the
track.
answer.
Right. I'm just gonna race
It's been
him.
said before.
You know what? We'll find me a hatch, and I'll do the hatch. We'll do some upgrades, and me and Phil will go at it on a track and see who's got
Are we
it.
gonna do like Donut Media? We're gonna buy the same car and then modify it?
No. You get whatever car you want to get. If you want to bring the Fit, the whatever, the 240, I will literally what's the horsepower of one of those hatches? Like a 94, 95, something like that?
I don't
Like
know.
102, but you know Miata too. Miata.
Oh, Miata.
Ooh,
Miata is always
he
the
cheated
answer.
me on that one.
That's
Yes.
the one.
Dan.
I mean, it's Cup Miata for a reason. I mean,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
there's no Cup Civic.
No, there's no.
If I had a choice,
There we go. There's Dan right there. Miata.
Yeah, he's cheating. He's definitely biased. But no, if I had a choice of which car I would want to buy, I would go with a Subaru
around.
2.5 or something like that for
2.5
price and everything.
RS.
Yeah, something.
Ooh.
Because that's the thing is that people commonly underestimate it. It's just one of those cars you can do a lot of stuff to, and Dan's unhappy because I didn't buy a Miata. So, Manny says BRZ. I really don't know.
Oh,
Have
here we go.
Have they ever been pounded on? Do they have a record with the BRZ?
Ask Manny because he owns one.
Yeah, like what? How much have you ever had that on the track? I don't think I've ever seen the
he
BRZ
hasn't.
on the track.
He has. So listen, fun fact about Manny. Manny has his BRZ is nasty actually. Looks good. You know, he loves that thing to pieces, and he's been wanting to do drifty boy shit.
Ooh, nice.
Yes. So he goes with me to New Hampshire last Sunday, and the guy he's building a drift car and this and that and blah blah. He's like, why don't you bring your BRZ and bring it? And he's telling him he's got the Brumbo brakes and some kind of rear differential.
Oh, the 2022 makes 228 horsepower. Oh, nice.
And then
Dude,
he was
you
like,
would stop with the. Oh my god!
and then I was like, yeah. So I talked him into bringing his BRZ to the skid pad at Lock City Drift.
Nice.
There you
So
go.
Nice.
yes. They're track monsters because low center of gravity. They're
Yep.
200 horsepower go-karts. And low center of gravity with a 300-plus pound man driving it. And, yeah, so they are...
Raises the center of gravity, or was there?
No.
Was that a trick question?
No, having a fat ass in there actually brings it lower to the ground.
Oh no, that makes sense. I know
Yeah.
how that is. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's why when you see my S14, it's like this going down the road because my fat ass is in there.
And the daily drivability of a BRZ. I mean, it's a fairly new vehicle.
Yeah.
I would assume it's reliable. You know.
Yep. No,
Yeah, so he says
they're
that's a
actually
track
nice.
monster because of the low center of gravity and 200 horsepower go kart. So I don't think you've never seen going on the track, have you?
No. Have you?
BRZ on the. I mean,
Or FRS or
I'm sh-
86?
I like
You
how
know,
he
I think
absorbed
I've
it. Like,
seen them at
I don't
Palmer.
know.
It's like,
I'm sure at Palmer and such. You know, like. That's where I want to get. I want to get to
Yeah.
a proper track day. I've only been on the drag strip and Seekonk.
You want club racing.
That's
right?
what I want to do.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Dude, I
At
gotta
one
say,
point.
I'm gonna tell you the track that I would tell people to go to. Everybody says which one, and I like Thompson because Thompson has
Yep.
the large braking zone, so you can kind of test your braking and do all that other stuff. But Canaan, it's a go kart track. It's like just the way it's set up. If you can do that perfect lap with it, you will find your expertise.
where
on
the
it.
hell is Canaan?
Up New Hampshire,
Oh,
Canaan, New
yes.
Hampshire.
I don't know shit about racetracks.
Look it
I
up
know
after the
Epping.
show because I'm telling you, it's one of those places that's like a secret sauce track. It's like the Top Gear track, but for yeah.
Season 1 Top Gear track.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
The real
All
Top
right.
Gear track.
There
yeah.
we go. There we go.
See, I don't know anything about Top Gear besides they're British.
Manny says Tail of the Dragon, which I like, but you can't. It's not a racetrack officially. But
Oh, it's a
Anything
racetrack.
can be a racetrack.
Exactly.
very,
Thank you.
very
I
true.
like
Okay, I'm
him.
sorry. I take it
I
back.
like him a lot.
I told you like him on the show. You
Walmart parking lot, maybe not. But
Yeah.
We might have enough room.
It depends on how you dress. I think for Walmart.
Oh yeah.
If you came out in like pajamas, they give you like the pajama pass or something. I don't know.
So what was I gonna say? Forgot what I was gonna say.
I forgot what you were going to say too.
Oh, so who does all your tuning and stuff?
Mike Vincent does all my tuning. He was, he basically has been a champion at Seekonk in his
Did he-
3000. He's the one with the 3000 GT you're thinking of.
Yes.
He does all my tuning. He's extremely diligent. Right now we just do street tuning,
Yep.
no dyno.
Yep.
We have the option for a dyno, but street
Yep.
tuning, it's otherworldly. I mean, imagine, you do a pull, okay, boop, 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 and then you do another pull and it's faster. It just feels awesome. And you
Yeah.
get the real feel of the road and like,
Yeah.
it's better, I think, than, being on the dyno. On the dyno, you can really fine tune like the power, but
Yes.
with the street, it's like the real world environment. You can feel it out. Like
Yeah.
if it's
used
too
to-
much, you
yeah.
can turn it down.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I used to have a lot of guys that were the big tuner guys that were street tuners. So
See, I'm an aesthetics guy. I don't know shit about making power. None. But I can make a car look good.
Sometimes I miss that old Eclipse that I started with because I did that half black paint job myself. I was 16, 17, 18 years
Yeah.
old when I owned that car. I did that half black paint job myself. Those were the first set of wheels I put on the car. I remember I got them from like Blue Magic Performance in Mendon, and I was like working at Imperial trying to get, let me get these on right before a mass tuning Cars and Popcorn meet,
Mass tuning. I haven't heard. Holy shit.
Got those wheels on just in time for the meet. I did, put the intake on myself, put
Yeah.
the radiator in,
Yeah.
just totally like all aesthetically. The car was mine. I'd pull
Yeah.
up, people would know it's me. Whether it was
Yeah.
ugly and slow or anything, I do miss totally personalizing the car. It's honestly, the power is fun, but
the
like the
power
way
is
you have
fun, but it's just like I tell everybody, I'm like, a car is a reflection of yourself. You know what I mean? Like
that's why ours is so damaged.
that's why mine is in like 6 different colors because
Right.
you are looking at the world's biggest dumpster fire right here.
right.
Like this guy.
We're it. That's
And,
why I want to Ford.
Oh God! Don't get Manny going about Fords. Here we go.
Oh,
Watch
no,
the
I've
Ford
opened the
comments
box.
coming. Yeah, you opened the box with Manny. Manny, he said Ford. He's got an F-150.
I do actually, and it already needs work and an oil change. So there you go.
God. Hey, listen. The Sylvia though got an oil change for the first time in 8 years the other day.
oh,
Very
fantastic.
nice.
How'd that look?
Yes.
Brown.
Have you ever seen like black tar running
No,
out
it
of a
wasn't even-
machine? That's
wasn't even
what-
that. It was like brown water.
water.
Oh.
Okay, it's not supposed to look like. If it looks like milky soup, we have a
Smelled
problem.
like gas.
Engines aren't made of glass. It can handle that.
exactly.
Yeah.
People underestimate like what an engine can handle. I mean,
I get yelled at all the time, but still. It's like,
Yeah, we've definitely found out how much they can't handle in
oh
the
yeah.
past. So yeah.
Listen, that Sylvia, that SR20DE starts up every time. That thing was parked for 2 years, didn't move.
Yep.
I put a battery in it, fired right up. It was like, hey, how
Hello.
you doing? Oh,
I am not reading that comment. Nope, not a chance. Jay says 7.3. There you go. There's the comment I'm reading.
that's a good one.
I can't.
I think the
Manny.
7.3 comment is probably more offensive than the other one. That's
I
what
can't
it
with
is.
Manny. Listen,
Yeah, I know, right?
I love Manny's like my doppelganger. If you put me and him
Nice.
together, we look like twins. And
I'm telling you, if he ever comes on the show, we're gonna have to there's gonna be a big discussion about what we can discuss. So,
With Mustangs, I like to call it the trifecta of shame. V6 automatic convertible. That's what I like to call it. The trifecta
Yes.
of shame.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Seeing that word, that reminded me of it.
I can't
That's a
even
good
tell you
one.
what the first thing my wife said to me when we went on our first date. I was in a convertible Fox body. You can only imagine.
you know what? That's Jen's family had I think it was a Fox body convertible, and yeah, I've been around way too many of those cars.
Yeah, no, she called me.
No, don't do it.
Okay.
Don't.
Listen.
Wah. Cutting away. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. It's the end of the gun. Why did they cut off his volume control
It was the
there?
final episode of the Car Grumps.
Right. Like that's going to be great when you see the playback and there's no sound coming from your mic. At least Ford circles the problem. I don't get that one, Dan, but
Because
yeah,
of
you
the
can-
logo. The logo has a circle
found
around.
on road
Yes,
did. Yeah.
yep.
My favorite was flip over read directions, but anyway. All right. So, do you have? Here's the thing that I want to kind of, because we got a couple more minutes here, but I wanted to ask, what I watch you racing. I see the car. I know you were so close to bringing in that podium. A couple of times, I'm like, you got this. What is the next steps?
What the hell happened?
What's the next steps here to get to that big one standing on top of the trophy thing?
Wider tires and wheels, upgraded suspension. I've got more than Mike races there. His car, he's been racing there for a long time. He understands, he kind of understands how my car acts as well, despite I've driven a Dodge Stealth, which is basically a rebadged 3000 GT, and it felt like my car, but longer gears, better handling, and heavier. So he kind of understands how my car is. He's rode in it. He's driven it. I've got more than enough power. It's just about wrangling in the handling aspect. When I'm going around those corners, I'm fighting understeer, fighting oversteer, fighting understeer. It feels like a rocking ship. I'm left foot braking, hitting the gas, flooring it. Then I'm understeering. Left foot brake, oversteer. Hitting the gas, understeer. So it's just wrangling in the handling, bigger rear sway bar, wider tires.
But you think you can do it with the Eclipse?
Oh, for sure. That's a podium car. Mike has even said, he's a better driver. So he said it. If he was behind the wheel of that car, he'd be taking first place. So it's just my track time. That's all I have to put in.
You just got to keep your ass in the seat. Now, do you do the 5-pound trick?
What's that?
So they used to call it the 5-pound trick. Mikey Caverio actually told me about this, and it was funny too, because when I met him there, and the first thing I ever said to him, he was in a Fox body, and I was getting shit talked by all the Mustang guys. So he came up to me and he was going to say hi, but I looked at him, I was like, I got you. I'm going to smoke the doors off that. Just started talking all this shit. So he kind of looked at me. He was like,
what
Whoa.
Did you drive? A blue
I had
Ford
a blue
Focus?
Ford Saline Focus.
Oh, okay. All right.
So then after the race, he blew the doors. Like, as soon as that light turned green, I never seen a Mustang till this day launch and hook and take a corner that fast. And it was amazing.
These rear wheel drive guys got it down to a science because they have to.
But you know what the funny thing was is I smoked 3 SNs that day. Like, they were just burning tire. Like, I raced one guy, it looked like Paulie D. And he just sat there toasting the tires off, and I just launched. So I thought I had it in the bag. I was like, you know what, screw this guy. And then all of a sudden, he just launched, hooked, and he was gone. I was like, holy shit. So then after me and him, I was talking to him. He's like, we know a lot of the same people. He was like, why do you have to be an asshole? I was like, dude, because I've been getting shit talked all day. And he started laughing. So he was like, I'm going to teach you a trick. So on your left side, 5 pounds less. And then on your right side, 5 pounds over.
Okay, yep.
And I did that, and that was another small little, and I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yep.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Playing with the air pressure.
Yep.
I've got my air pressures for the most part dialed in.
He's doing the NASCAR trick.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell trick it was, but you know what? It worked. And I
grew up in Martinsville Speedway. If we know one thing, it's leaning it to the left.
Yep.
And a lot of those guys, like back in that day, so the tunability and making power and all that stuff is way different now than it was in like 2009, 2010 when I was into it. And so we did a lot of like backyard shit and like deflate.
Vinny said Deflategate.
Yeah. So like that was a big thing. A lot of the guys were doing that, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just too old for this.
No, I don't. I want you to get back out there. I mean, it's a great group of guys. I mean, every time, even when I didn't have my talent, I'd go to the events and I'd go park in the pit and I'd just walk through and say what's up to all the guys. Hey, how you been? They love to see everyone there. It's just everyone's super cool with each other. They'll give you tips. I went up to Hudson actually, and I was racing out there, and sometimes they'll do multiple cars on the track at once, like 4 wide for 3 laps. I was thinking about signing up. I almost bailed out, but one of my friends pushed me to, go for it. And everyone's just so cool there. It's awesome.
I mean, but I think like with that stuff too, like racing like 4 wide and stuff like that, I think it teaches you also, like, that's another thing. It's just like, now you have to, instead of fighting the car and fighting the track, you got to fight with other people.
Yep,
now.
you have to know who you're
learn.
racing against.
Exactly.
Like, obviously, if you just have to know your
people
opponent,
don't
that's all.
realize
and be
trust.
courteous. If you know the guy behind you is faster and you're holding up the line, it's just race your race, but also just you got to have your head on a swivel and know who's behind you, who's in front of you.
Yeah,
what they
it's so
have
weird
compared
that
to you.
we race with it's like we race with our friends, so we're like shaking hands, but at the same time the other person wants to get in first, so they're like, it's like we're like holding together, but one dude's trying to pull ahead, and it's like, at the end, who wants to be the first person to flinch? It's like a big game of chicken.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but that's what it is. That's a race.
Yep.
Like, it's like boxing.
Well, some people don't like that, though. That's what it's weird. Like, we used to race in certain divisions, and I'm not going to name names because it would be kind of mean, and a lot of it's changed. But there were people that would not race in certain divisions because there was a lot of banging going on, versus like spectator drags, accidents hardly ever happen.
Right.
Like, nobody, if you the worst that happens is somebody loses control and spins out in a corner. There's not a lot of play. That's why I like Canaan, because you really can't mess up. There's just dirt around you. But that's the thing is there's a lot of places where people won't race, especially with the clubs racing, is because they don't want to end up damaging something because it's their daily driver. It's like their only car. Right. So,
yeah.
And that's something you can do in spectator drags.
Yeah, that's the point. You come out and anybody who's spectating can join in on the fun. That's supposed to be the point of it. Some people, they kind of, I will admit, I drive my Talon to meets and all this and go out on the street and stuff. But, that's my Seaconk car for the most part,
But still, that's your toy. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
That's the division I enjoy. So, but anybody can come out and have fun. I tell people all the time from, Thompson, who do drift events, I'm like, hey, come out to Seaconk. You don't have to, race. Just this one dude, he used to come out and he just let the person in front of him go, and then he drift the whole track, hold the drift for the entire.
What did he drive?
That's awesome.
It was it was like the Sentra or something. It was Eric Sylvia, I'm pretty sure his name is. But
because I remember when
it was like tan with flip-up headlights. It was some obscure Nissan. There's hundreds of them, but
like I remember back in my day, there was two guys that used to do that. There was one kid in a Miata. And they actually let him, like, after he lost, they would let him come back in because
do another lap.
They knew what he was gonna do. No, he would just keep going.
Yeah.
And then there was another kid in a S13 240SX who used to do that, and they were cool as hell. They're like, yeah, we're not here to race. We just want to drift and just.
Yeah.
And they would showboat, but
it's
like
fun.
They would hold the whole corner and they would just go, and I'm like, holy sheep shit.
Yeah, I've been out there in less than stellar cars. When I'm in between race cars, I'll go out there. I've been out there in a little Mitsubishi Mighty Max pickup truck, Dodge Daytona, just to get out there and be with the guys. You don't have to go out there and win. Just go out there to have fun. They take photos of your car on track.
And it's such an experience too.
Awesome.
Like, people talk to you and get this info to you. Yeah.
You're in the middle of the track, surrounded by hundreds of people watching. It's fun. Just come out and do it.
Don't ever be afraid to go to a track and make mistakes.
Be very afraid to go to a track and make mistakes. Be very afraid.
Don't do it. So Vinny says, put in the good word for me at Seaconk. I want to get the flyer on the track for the spectator drag, which is the RP flyer. So if you guys saw it before, I would love to see that on the track and see, what is it, all 90 horsepower or 40 horsepower or something?
I don't think you can't have a convertible on the track, can you?
No, you can't have convertibles.
No. Vinny, we'll figure something out. I'll talk to somebody and pull some strings and get you to do a lap.
We'll ratchet strap him in and call it a day.
Yeah, it's all right, I think it does tops out at like 40.
Yeah, so. Get what if he hit the wall? What is he going to hurt? Like, it would probably make a radio work or something. I don't know.
Jesus Christ, man!
What? So you going 20 miles per hour? It's like walking into the wall.
I think that would be. I think that would be pretty cool though for him to parade around the track for a lap.
Is it?
He's gonna have a roll bar. There you go.
No, so Vinny is a friend of ours. He was on one of the episodes. He's building a.
I don't have the picture.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
He's building a Model A.
Yes.
Speedster, I think it is.
It's called an RP flyer. So think about a Model A truck with no headlights, no other stuff. It's just made
So-
to race.
Oh,
Yeah,
they'd
so
probably
he's-
love that there.
Right.
They'd probably let you do a little parade lap
Absolutely.
before
But
the.
this is the catch though. He's got a condition where he's going blind.
Yep.
So he's getting this car. He's trying to finish this car for a race called the Race of Gentlemen in New Jersey.
Yep.
And then after he's done this year with parading it around and
Vintage
doing
drag car.
it's
There
a
you
vintage
go.
drag
See?
car and doing the vintage drags and stuff like that. He's gonna sell the car, and all the money that he makes from that car, all the proceeds, 100% is gonna go to a foundation that's actually trying to find a cure for his situation.
Yep.
Wow.
It's so cool.
So you know what? So you sir are tasked to talk to somebody to get him down there to parade the car
Okay,
around
yeah.
the track.
Yeah, I talked
there's
to
the
the owner
channel.
of the track
so
often.
Vinny, we're
There we
gonna
go.
talk to somebody. We're gonna try to make that happen. That'll be
It's
fun.
like Vinny ends up in every show whether he likes it or not. All right.
yes.
So I Phil.
No, don't you?
Yeah, I got it, dude.
Fucking
It's time.
dare.
It's that time of day.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
He's got to go home at
No,
some
Like and
point today.
subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
There you go.
I like
exactly.
That. I
See,
like it.
hired.
Like-
He's
like
gonna
and
be here more
subscribe.
often
Yes.
now.
No,
So-
don't you shut it off.
But thank you
Don't
guys for
you
tuning
dare
in.
shut it
So,
off.
guys, I got to
No.
get the thing out.
No,
Phil.
there's no things. There's
So-
no
And
things.
subscribe.
Like and yes,
Yeah.
like and subscribe.
So this has been the Car Grumps with the irreverent guys that talk
Everybody
to you
just type
every
no.
day
Type no.
about all the
Type
insanity
no. Type
that's in
no.
the car world.
Type no.
Remember, we're on every Wednesday at 7
Don't you do
p.m.
it.
on
Don't
YouTube,
you-
Facebook,
Somebody put
Twitch,
encore
Kick,
in the
all
comments.
the different things. Look up
Somebody
the Car
put
Grumps.
encore in the comments.
And if you want,
Don't
we'll
you do it.
take iHeart, Spotify, all those different audio channels. We're on those later too. So
No.
and Gary says yes, Phil. So
Don't-
deal with
Gary,
it.
shut it. So no.
So on
Jose
that
wants an
note-
encore. They want an encore.
Guess
They want
guess
an
what?
encore.
Guess
Encore.
what? Phil, give him the encore while I
Hell
take it out
no,
of the
we
thing.
ain't going. No, don't
No,
you?
it's
dare.
the thing is
You-
you sure?
Don't do it.
no, it's in
Don't
the
you
thing.
do it. Don't do it.
It's
Don't-
at the end of the
don't-
show. Who knows if it's the end of the show?
This bastard.
That's it. That's the end of the
Oh,
show.
that's
All
it.
right. So talk to you guys soon. We'll see you
Bye,
soon. Thanks for
guys.
keying on, Carlito.